One of the first things I will do, actually on day one, is I will end the government's favoritism towards unions in contracting on federal projects and end project labor agreements, and I will fight to repeal Davis-Bacon. I also, of course, are going to make sure that workers in America have the right to a secret ballot, and I will fight for right-to-work laws. I don't have to tell you all the things he does for organized labor. Even before his stimulus went into effect, one of the first things he does, just 2 weeks before that stimulus, was to issue an order forcing the government to use only union labor on construction projects. He goes on. He bailed out the automakers in a way that did not follow the normal process of bankruptcy, but instead gave the auto companies to the UAW. Again, the people who had supported his campaign. He, of course, fought for card check. Not getting it, he put in place labor stooges at the National Labor Relations Board. And their action has been to try and make every decision in favor of the unions. The decision on Boeing in South Carolina was one of the most extraordinary and egregious decisions or efforts we've seen in a long, long time. Now, what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to change that policy and make sure that instead of having a president that bows to the demands of special interests, in this case, union interests, that we have a president that bows to the interests of the American people. First of all, they passed a card check law. Can you believe that? Card check was passed in my state, reached my desk. I vetoed it. Despite the fact there were 85% Democrats, we fought hard and were successful fighting against this card check legislation. We also had Davis-Bacon-like restrictions in our government contracting. I was able to remove those. I prevented state employees from receiving government pay while they were doing union work. I also stopped the practice of having the state collect money from people's dues or from their wages to go into union dues to go into political action committees. If I'm president of the United States, I'm going to balance budgets. And I'm going to do that by doing the two things I described. One is reducing expense, reducing spending, cutting back on programs, eliminating programs, sending some programs back to states. I'm going to have to cut back on the scale of government. And I'm going to eliminate programs. When I was governor of Massachusetts, one of the ways we were able to balance our budget, despite a $3 billion shortfall, was going through the budget and cutting out programs or cutting back programs we couldn't afford, even if we liked them. And I'll get rid of a lot of programs. And finally, I'm going to make sure that as we deal with unions, and I'm happy to compete at a level playing field. I know the American people and free individuals and businesses, union and non-union, can compete, but it's time for the government to say, let the competition begin on a level playing field and do not tilt in favor of union bosses. I'm going to make sure we have right to work, get rid of Davis-Bacon,